Hi, everyone, and welcome to this live stream. Today, we're here to talk about the different kinds of entrepreneurs. Um, when I go to colleges, when I meet young people in India, of course, due to our Prime Minister being so vocal, there are a lot of people who ask about entrepreneurship. And somehow the youth today seem to club everything under the exact same uh, blanket. But when you really look at entrepreneurship, the truth of the matter is that it is of few different kinds. So I thought that today is a good occasion for us to look at how we can come to know our entrepreneurial type, okay, and take a call on what type of entrepreneur we will be. Of course, it's all going to be around careertest.in, which is a career guidance, a scientific career guidance platform. So we have a three-step process where you come, take a test, which is AI powered. Then there is a 20-page analysis report which is shared with you. And then, of course, you can book your time to have a discussion with a mentor. Um, on the site itself, we will see how the flow of the test, etc., happens. So let's start. Um, I also call out to anybody who's into mentoring students and young people and wants to be able to use careertest.in. Go ahead and reach out to me. Of course, I'm looking at being able to reach as many people as possible because this generation, Gen Z, education is pretty rampant in the sense that nearly everyone does have primary education. A lot of people do have secondary education, and there's a lot of education which is also available via free YouTube channels and many such online sites. So, in this world where knowledge is fairly free, it is a great opportunity for each one of us to live our life to the best potential. And we must also remember what Albert Einstein said, that everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it is stupid. So sometimes I find that the young people do have low self esteem. Sometimes they wonder, what are we doing? Is it right? Is it not so good, right? And all I would like to say is, come be part of the career guidance journey at careertest.in and walk away with with confidence that the choices you're doing, there is a logic to it, there is a reason why those recommendations are happening. Entrepreneurship, we already know, is a powerful career pathway for young adults and college students who seek independence, creativity, and meaningful work. So, they don't want to live under a boss, they don't want to learn in standard job. What they really want to do is to use often technology uh, and identify new problems that the world is going through and become people who can actually come up with solutions, um, profitable solutions for these. Entrepreneurship can take many forms. That is, it could be the um, launching a startup, freelancing, or building digital brands. Any of these could become part of the entrepreneurship process. Now, it requires innovation, leadership, initiative, and the courage to take calculated risks, because, yes, it is true. Entrepreneurs have to understand that the zing comes from the risk that comes. with the fact that you're putting your heart and soul into something and it should work out well for you. The non-risky element nowadays is in standard jobs, where you know for a fact that there'll be somebody to guide you, and that guide is going to be and the type of job you will do will be within the confines of whatever is your job description, and you don't need to worry. There are people who are going to actually um, they look after the entire system. Now, what I would like to bring out over here is that entrepreneurship is more than starting a business. It is actually the whole thing should be that you should be able to identify opportunities and solve some problems while creating value. Okay, so let us not look at entrepreneurship as just another job that you do. No, it is something bit more. It is you being in charge. Okay, if you were to just say that, Svashni, before we go into the test, let's have a discussion that what are the traits in entrepreneurial success. What are the things that people get right and then their entrepreneurial journey succeeds? So success is shaped not only by the skill that you possess, but also some psychological traits and the environment in which you are. As I mentioned already, the government environment in India currently, and outside India also globally, is very supportive. Okay, this wasn't so earlier, but now it's very supportive. Now, key entrepreneurial traits include resilience, creativity, persistence, staying committed despite the challenge, problem solving ability, a comfort with uncertainty, and understanding that ambiguity is not necessarily bad, curiosity, and initiative. Okay, so all are these are other traits which you need other than the skills that you need to start off your business, other than the money that you have to start off your business. Okay, so if you look at the support systems that you would be which are conducive to entrepreneurial success, it starts off with family encouragement. So it is very difficult for people to become entrepreneurs if their family is not encouraging. And of course you want financial assistance, right? There will be times ups and downs. That's the major thing, that it is not a standard job. Mentors and faculty guidance who can sort of help you out when you are caught and wondering what to do next. Peer groups or startup communities, and college incubation sets or entrepreneurship clubs. Of course, access to digital tools and online learning resources. All of these become very important. See, none of us can be good at everything. So when I started off my journey, I must tell you that I did not know very much about creativity through digital mediums, and nor did I know too much about, say, WhatsApp marketing, etc. But these are very important elements if you're starting off your work, and you get to learn. Okay, so what motivates a person to be entrepreneur? uh, there can be different motivations. Okay, and bringing this out to you because this will give you an understanding of how people decide on what type of entrepreneurship suits them. So there can be different motivations. You can have security and functional excellence, right? Where you are a master of a skill. You can be a digital marketer. You are a coder. You could be somebody who knows a lot about communication skills, and so on and so forth. So such people actually who have a skill or deliver high quality expertise in one area, they generally become consultants, technical service providers, coaches, designers, and development engineers. Then you could and this I mean it that this is not something to be only thought of in terms of technology, because you would also have people like architects, etc., who could be in this area, doctors, architects, etc. Then there are people who prefer security. That means they want stability and low risk. These are aligned with small businesses and franchisees. So if you take up a franchisee of a petrol bunk or a car dealership, etc., you will know that there will be a certain recurring demand for services. Then there are people who look at creative and independence, as a big motivation. Now they would be people again who look at some of the um, you know places where creativity can come out, which could be digital creator roles, media, content, entrepreneurship, creative studios, all of this. Finally, you have people who are aligned to money and power. These are driven by ambition, right? Financial success. So here is where you find people who are ready to risk it all, the startups, scalable tech ventures, high growth businesses. So larger risk, larger returns. And then, of course, you have people who are purpose driven, service and the impact they have on society. So you have people who are social entrepreneurs, sustainability ventures they run, NGOs, tech initiatives. These all could be driven by a desire to do service and impact. At this point, I will stop and request you to just put in the comments what is it that really drives you. So here you can see the five drivers, five motivational factors, and just do comment what is your motivation. Okay. Um, Now, there are some things. So, the career test, career success test, as you know, is a test which covers a few elements, right? It covers the standard elements of what's your temperament, what motivates you, what is your aptitude, right? Cognitive skills, etc. And then there are a few questions which tell us which type of entrepreneur you are. Which we'll just take the test also, and we'll be able to see how the report looks and this looks like. What excites you most about starting something of your own? Like, do you want to do it because you want to work independently, or you want to build something big or with a team, or you want to create social impact, or you want to express creativity? So what is it, what is your motive of wanting to start? The second question which we want to answer is, how do you approach new projects? So you like working hands on, or you enjoy leading teams, or you like to focus on impact, or you want to look for creative or digital ways to build. You have something and you want to build it digitally. Okay. Then the third question, which really helps us slot people out, is what type of problems do you enjoy solving? Do you enjoy solving skill or service based problems, or large complex challenges that need innovation? Uh, just now there was a firm which has innovated, waste removal from Chennai, and created plastic furnitures out of it. Issues affecting society or communities, or creative communication or storytelling challenges. And the fourth question that we ask is, how much risk are you comfortable taking? Like low to moderate, where you have stable income and safe decisions. High risk, you're okay with uncertainty if the idea is big. Moderate risk, you take risks if it helps take make positive changes. And moderate to high. And moderate risk is where you will experiment as long as you can balance it with safety. So you will never go outside absolutely on a limb, ensuring that everything is at stake. Each of us has different styles. There's no judgment in this. Finally, what kind of lifestyle do you want? Do you want flexible and independent, or fast paced and high growth, or purpose driven and community centered, or creative and digitally focused? You have to decide. And then we score it out. Okay. To figure out what type of entrepreneur you are. So before we go and take the test really on the system, let me ask you, what do you think? Are you a solopreneur or freelancer, or do you feel like creating a startup which can really scale, or do you want to make social impact and be a social entrepreneur, or do you want to be a digital creator or a content entrepreneur? Give it a thought. If you are confused as to what is each kind of entrepreneurship, then let me tell you, solopreneur or freelancer is independent, skilled, and self directed. So they work in autonomous, where they have a lot of freedom, and they build services around personal expertise. So they are the center of it, including could be a doctor, a lawyer, or somebody with who's a coder, etc. Okay. A startup founder, these guys are generally ambitious, innovative, and team oriented, and they have their strengths are leadership, vision, resilience. They really want to make it big. Social entrepreneurs, these are purpose driven, empathic, and they have empathy with the society, and they are community focused. So you have mission driven execution, community ventures, ed tech, NGOs. And finally, you have digital creators or content entrepreneurs, where their strength is creativity and communication. And YouTube influencers, podcasters, online educators, people like me, perhaps, they come into this. Okay. Now, as you're thinking about what type of entrepreneurship appeals to you, let me also tell you that how does this thing actually work. So there are some advantages and disadvantages, like it is in everything in life. So the advantages of entrepreneurship, of course, is independence, control, opportunity to follow your passion, potential for higher income and growth, creative freedom, and ability to create impact, and scalable potential. And the biggest downside is, of course, financial instability. The other things, it has long hours, high pressure, it is uncertain, multiple roles you end up doing, right? There's a lack of a fixed structure, and isolation happens. You don't meet too many people when you're like focused on working. So how does this work really? You might say, Subhash, I don't want have any special like or dislike to any type of entrepreneurship. How can I decide what type of entrepreneur will I be? So this is how I've sorted it out. See, if your motivation is service excellence and functional excellence, and you have skills which are less than 5 years of experience, yes, so you haven't really worked. Your creativity is medium, and risk orientation is low to moderate. Okay. Then you might want to be a solopreneur, freelancer who can manage their own finances and who keeps a kitty for themselves. If your motivation is service and functional excellence, and you have 5+ years of experience, and you have a medium to high uh, risk factor, medium to um, sorry, I got confused here. So creativity is medium to high. So you're somebody who's creative, and a low to moderate risk orientation. You might be a specialist consultant, somebody who's very specialized, who works day in and day out at honing their specialization, being right on top of their game. Okay. So you could be a specialist in something or the other. PhD, a lot of people who are PhDs and become consultants, they'd come here. Now, if your motivation is security, you really want a secure life, but you have less than 5 years experience, and you're not really very creative, and your risk orientation is also small, or should I say low, you want a stable business, you might want to be a small business entrepreneur. The same thing, if your security requirement is high, you have 5+ years of experience, and your creativity is low, and risk taking is also low, you want to be an operations based entrepreneur. So you would like to open your own shop, or you might take a petrol bunk license, so on and so forth. Now, if your motivation actually is creativity and independence, and such people have, be it less than 5 years or 5+years, they will have high creativity. Risk orientation is moderate or moderate to high. You could be a digital creator or a creative agency founder, where you get a lot of other creatives also to work with you. Okay. Power and money is your motivation, and your creativity is medium or medium high, and your risk orientation is high, because see, if you want more power or more money, you have to take more risk. Then you'll be doing good as a startup founder or a high growth scale founder. Okay. And if you have service impact as one of your main motivators, and you have medium to high creativity and some moderate risk requirement, you could be a risk appetite, you can be a social entrepreneur or social innovation leader. So you have different types of entrepreneurship, and it all depends on what you are personally. Okay. So let's then take the test. Let's understand how to take the test. It's pretty simple. I will just copy this out and open up my Okay, so the test and any test on career test is pretty easy to work with, and so let me sign up. I always like to put my own password. So I've done my master's degree and I have already done it. No, yes, dear, no. So it sort of figures out what type of things you are okay with. Okay, I want to work. Okay, I'm ready to work in education and training and technology. Sorry. Yes, this is my WhatsApp number. So I'm going to say start the test. Now, here at any point, you will notice that I can look it up here. These are the questions. Okay. These are the number of questions for, and these are the sections that are to be covered. I can, of course, close this out. You might find that some people who come from or who want to use a language which is not English, just go here and change it. Okay. And this is what I like. I am curious about. So you will realize that actually you have to think about each of these, and you can choose only one. I rather fancy myself as a problem solver, of course. So I like producing tangible results. I think I solve problems. Yes, I like. So it says I have completed this. If I want to see here, there are some 12 questions. I am an extrovert, I think. I like being a specialist. I am rather proud of my skills. Yeah, I like being original. I like being respected. Okay. So it's always about, you know, choosing from this list. Now, you may feel um, that some of them look very similar. The question is yes, valid, because it is important to be able to see that will the person choose similar thing over and over again. I say skill on the job. I sometimes anticipate. Okay, so here you can see. Yeah, so this is how you have to do. You actually have to see. And okay. So you can see the level of questions. It does need you to use your brain. 10% is 140. Okay, so we'll just go on. Yeah. hope you can see the quality of questions. So here you go. It says I can go back to the dashboard and actually continue the test. Here you go. Okay. And now here you come. So A is what really matters to me. Working independently. Then I like, okay, D in this. You know? And this is where I look at B. So I am C here. And I'm A here. Okay. All these I have put down over here. So it says that it is saving the result. Okay. I can rate it and I come to my dashboard. Of course, one of the ways is to reach a mentor, and here I can also see my report. So, in the report, let's see. Always starts off with an understanding of, what type of areas of interest. So, again, healthcare and digital jobs come out as two big areas. And then a temperament understanding that if I was to, this temperament is what you're born with. So if you were to look at it, engineering, agriculture, and arts and crafts, these are my motivations: creative, service, functional, power. And then this is how I've scored. So I am good with perhaps resourcefulness, but nothing much. Okay, so I'm a bit an underperforming student when it comes to peers of my age. Okay, and this is the industries where I might want to look at my entrepreneurship. And you can see entrepreneurship has come out as my main sector and these industries. And then the question becomes, how do we calibrate that? What type of items, what type of entrepreneurship I'll do? So I've got an A, D, B, and C and A. So the A is the one which has come a couple of times. I'll go up here and check it out, and it'll give me the fact that I should be a solopreneur or a freelancer. That's the kind of entrepreneurship I might fit. Of course, this is we can always have a further discussion around it, but I hope that this has given you an idea of exactly how uh, the session moves, and how it will help you decide which industries and what type of entrepreneurship you can do. Leave a comment if you want me to share that document out with you, and I look forward to seeing you really soon. Bye.